and welcome to another episode of It's Grim Up North, a series of programs on the lives of men and women who put their best foot forward and left an indelible stain on the communities where they lived. This week, we're in the chemical capital of the northwest of England, Widnes, a town renowned for its world-famous rugby team, the Chemics, where, if you're born a boy, you learn to tackle before you can walk. And if you're a girl, you get to watch the boys do exciting things from the sidelines. But there is more to Widnes than chemicals, rugby league and record-breaking mortality rates. For Widnes is also the birthplace of one of the most important men of our time. That man is Paul Kennedy. Born into a working-class family, Paul, son of Sam, spent many childhood hours with his pet dog, Harvey, and the two of them would disappear for hours on end in their own special make-believe world. Paul Kennedy was a typically rosy-cheeked scamp who could often be found throwing stones at buses and cheerily vandalizing old bomb shelters. Paul Kennedy has had to get used to other people turning their heads and asking the question, "What's that commotion going on over there?" Well, that commotion is Paul Kennedy. Whether it's the angry young firebrand of the stage, chameleon-like singer-songwriter, or trendsetter to the fashion world. Paul Kennedy's influence can be felt across the board, for this man doesn't follow trends, why, he sets them. Not only is Paul Kennedy the man of the hour, but he is also an inspirational figure who other men choose to fashion themselves after. As a fashion icon, he is single-handedly responsible for creating the Paul Kennedy look. A look so familiar to us all that once seen may never be forgotten. We have discovered some footage of a young Paul Kennedy, long thought to be lost. A Paul Kennedy in his prime, confident, a man in possession of a full head of hair.
Ladies and gentlemen, I come to you live from Widnes, England, Cheshire, the world. Some men are born great. Others have greatness thrust upon them. Tonight on Live with Dicky Ticker, I give you Paul Kennedy, A Life. How was that?
That was absolutely super, darling.
Is the bar open at all? And here we are, stood at the world-famous Runcorn Widnes Bridge. A infamous location in a young Paul Kennedy's life. In fact, it was the scene of the incident. It was around this time that our hero made his claim for swimming glory. One night, one Guinness-powered night, our intrepid adventurer defied the odds and attempted to swim the River Mersey. Eventually, the lifeguard was summoned, and a semi-naked and bewildered young Paul was found downstream performing Hamlet's soliloquy to be or not to be to a group of bewildered mess drinkers, standing bereft in melted shoes. It wasn't long before Paul was bitten by the acting bug, a passion that lasts to this day. He was to enrol here in the Todd Slaughter School of Acting and Amateur Gynecology.
So who is this man who influenced the man who would become the Paul Kennedy that the world is so familiar with today?
Plots, can you beat the old melodramas, where heroes were handsome, villains vile, and maidens modest? And who better to recall those spacious days than that great dramatic actor, Todd Slaughter? But she's got nice eyes, eh?
Yes, she has got nice eyes.
Excuse me. Here's a souvenir of one of her nice eyes.
Todd Slaughter was the famous actor-manager who terrified theatre and cinema audiences in the 1930s and 40s. But for one man, Todd Slaughter would become a seminal influence. For Paul Kennedy would go on to champion the Slaughter method of acting. Whether it be Shakespeare, Chekhov, or Peter, Kennedy firmly believed in not giving a toss. If there was a play to be acted, then it would be the Slaughter way or the highway. Either way, whether it's dialogue riper than old cheese, or hamming it up like a pork butcher when Kennedy treads the boards, it's every man for himself.
I'll soon polish you off.
We begin our tale in 1966, an auspicious year. The year our subject arrived on this earth found floating in a basket on the picturesque River Mersey. But a matter of 3 weeks later, the World Cup was stolen after being displayed in the City of London. Coincidence? That is for you to decide. It was in this year that John Lennon made his infamous statement that the Beatles were indeed more popular than Paul Kennedy. A statement he later came to regret. It was a happy childhood that Paul spent with 14 sisters and 10 brothers, whiling away the evenings listening to the wireless on a bomb site in a 2-up, 2-down cardboard box just south of Ditton. Love for Paul was a many splendid thing. His first love, Ethel Cardew, a 19-stone panel beater and prop forward for witness, took quite a shine to our adolescent Master Kennedy. Alas, it was not meant to be, as she soon signed for St. Helens and was never seen again.
Earlier, I spoke to a former friend and confidant of Paul Kennedy and asked him how Paul's long and winding journey into the darkness that is the dramatic arts came about. The man we spoke to has asked us not to reveal his identity. When did you first meet Paul Kennedy?
Well, I first met Paul when we were students back in the early 1980s. We became firm friends when we discovered that we shared a passion for the arts, music, heavy drinking and extended fist fights.
When did you notice a change in Paul's behaviour?
Once he returned from university, where, out of the blue, he announced that he was going to form a theatre company run along militant Trotsky lines called Minimum Wage. I tried to talk him out of this cock-a-baby idea as I could see where it could lead to.
How did you first become aware to Paul's addiction to uncut drama?
I tried to keep him on the straight and narrow, what with the heavy drinking and the going through the match and shouting abuse at the officials. But that wasn't enough for him anymore. And before you knew it, it was Pinter this and Osborne that. and you just knew it wasn't going to end well when he ended up mounting an open-air production of Hamlet at Halton Castle in Runcorn. By this stage, he had no time for the likes of me. He was more interested in the movers and shakers of witness. Men like Johnny Rocco. Aye, once he fell in with Rocco and his crew, I just knew I was on a one-way trip to Palookaville.
Do you ever look back to those formative years now?
Aye, it's sad to think now, but once upon a time, we were just two little boys with two little toys, each with a broken glass.
That was former drama student and general waste of space, Venn Diagram. And now we speak to a close childhood friend of Paul's, a Mr. John Hughes, known to his friends as Big John.
Iron me wrinkles. Repent, ye sinners, repent, ye sinners. You are looser than the winners.
I'm sorry, I think we're having some technical difficulties there. We can now speak to another friend from Paul's theatrical days. George Harris.
Hello, Paul. I'm so sorry I can't be there in person tonight, but I've had to take a close friend up the Wallasey Tunnel. I just wanted to let you and everyone else gathered there tonight know just what fond memories I have of our work together. How many hours have we spent, Paul? Sweating and toiling, till finally we knew that we could put on a show that would satisfy the most demanding of audiences. Many a time I've burned my soul on the stage, and always to the sound of laughter. Your laughter, Paul. One memory in particular that stands out is when you staged the production of Harold Pinter's The Homecoming. During one performance, after my marvellous death scene, you decided to play a naughty trick on me by rolling me up in a carpet just to get a cheap laugh from the audience. Well, as ever, Paul, you did get a cheap laugh, and I eventually came to see the funny side. That's once the paramedics had successfully performed a resuscitation procedure on me, aided by the use of a powerful defibrillator. Why, you even came to visit me afterwards in hospital. And do you know, Paul, I've still got that packet of cheese and onion crisps that you bought me, even though they're now 17 years out of date. Still, you literally can't forget memories like that, kidder. I hope you have a smashing 50th birthday bash, and if ever you have a small part that you'd like me to get my hands on, then just give us a knock, eh? My door's always open for you, kidder.
It is here at 77 Main Street that a young Paul Kennedy shared a house with a good friend and former acquaintance. We are here today to talk to former friend and confidant, Mr. Herbert Punisher. Mr. Punisher, would you like to share your thoughts and memories of Paul Kennedy? Mr. Paul Kennedy. Big on voice, Mr. Paul Kennedy. Oh, just... Now we are here today to talk to Mr. Herbert Punisher, former friend and confidant of Paul Kennedy.
I said not the first, didn't I?
Mr. Punisher, would you like to share your memories of Paul Kennedy?
Paul Kennedy was, you did say cash, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Oh, my bloody mouth's really hurting.
Right, cut! We are here today to talk to Mr. Herbert Punisher, long-time friend and confidant of Paul Kennedy. Mr. Punisher, would you like to share your memories of Paul Kennedy?
I remember we used to share a house in Main Street in Runcorn.
Could you just speak up a little bit, Mr. Punisher? You're a little bit nasal.
We used to share a house in Runcorn. We used to share a house in Runcorn, and yes, we were poor, but we were happy because we were poor. By the way, and I bet he hasn't bloody told you this, the bastard still owes me money.
Cut!
He owes me a £5.
We are here today to talk to Mr. Herbert Punisher, long-time friend and confidant of Mr. Paul Kennedy. Mr. Punisher, would you like to share your memories of Paul Kennedy?
Paul was a very generous and warm individual who I knew for many years, and I've yet to meet anyone who's got it really hurt. I've yet to meet anyone who's got a bad word to say about the man or about anything he's ever done. Not only is he a fine actor, but he's also a pillar of the community. Can I go now, please? I just want to see my family again. Please, Al. If that's good enough, isn't it? I just want to see my family again. I want to go home to see my wife and kids.
Thank you, Mr. Herbert Punisher.
Oh, me pants.
Never a truer word spoken, I'm sure you'll admit. And we are here today at 75 Main Street to talk to a neighbour and former friend of Mr. Kennedy who would like to share some thoughts about his time back in the day.
Dodgy drain pipe.
The thoughts there of Mad Gordon. Paul has never been renowned for his fondness of our eight-legged friends. Indeed, one night during his triumphant performance of Dysart in Equus on this very stage, an autograph-hunting arachnid stormed the stage in search of our star. Fortunately, our hero was unaware of the spider's presence, as such a meeting could have been disastrous and released a cry of, "Sheila!" Legend has it that our hairy friend still walks these halls in search of Mr. Kennedy. It is no secret that the Kennedy name has engendered respect and admiration throughout his wide circle of friends. We are here today to talk to Keith Fielding, one of Paul's oldest and most treasured friends, to give testament to this love and affection. Mr. Fielding, would you like to say a few words about Paul Kennedy?
What? Who?
Paul Kennedy, one of your oldest friends?
Kennedy? He's a tit. I'm not speaking about him. Go on. What's he doing with that? Here, take that here camera and stick it right up your arse. And you, stick that f***ing microphone where the sun don't shine. Go on, off. Don't be coming back round here again. Do you hear me? And your cameras and
And there you have it. Such love and heartfelt warmth is seldom shown to man.
Paul's lifelong love affair with drama is well known and celebrated, but perhaps less well known, and some would say fairly overlooked, is Paul's love of music. For since his younger days, Paul had never been shy at exposing his inner voice, or indeed in sharing his musical talents in an often angry and hostile world. We spoke to one man who, as a condition of giving this interview, has asked that his real identity is not revealed.
Is it alright, like, for suck on this? It's not fag or anything, it's batteries. They're triple A's.
You met Paul Kennedy many years ago, didn't you?
I first got to know Paul Kennedy back in the 80s. We were actually in this, it was like this little beat combo band called the Marking Lizards. Paul was like the brains behind the idea, and but like Big John was like the front man, you know.
When did you first notice a change in Paul?
Things only started like to go bad, you know. Like when Paul turned up one day at a rehearsal and he said like, he'd had this vision, right? He'd had this dream, and this voice had spoken to him, and it said to him, Paul Kennedy, you are the new Barry White. You are the new Barry White of Witness. It is your mission, should you accept it, to go and tell this to the people of Witness. And he wanted us to be his backing band, like, you know. I thought he was like off his tree, you know what I mean? Then he started writing these records, thinking like he was Barry White, you know. He was doing, and he even, instead of like Barry White used to call himself like the Walrus of Love, you know. He started calling himself the Love Man of Witness, you know. And he even started making records, and we had to back him up, you know. It was terrible, you know. It was like people were just like booing us off left, right, and centre. By this time, you know, he was like, he'd gone to his head a bit, you know. He was the Love Man of Witness. And once he fell in like with Rocco and his mob, that was it. Then he had muscle, he had musical muscle. It was like, you know, basically. So can you say the word?
No, you can't.
So, you know, as far as I'm concerned, all my problems and hassle started then, you know. You know, I was pretty much a teetotaler before then. And yeah, I used to dabble. I used to have like the odd, you know, Mackeson's was my favourite, like Tipple.
Have you kept up with Paul's later directions?
I mean, that's the thing, right? The last I'd heard of him, he did this album called, released this CD called Reflections, yeah, you know, and, you know, he thought that was really going to propel him, like, into the stratosphere, you know, like Today a Witness, tomorrow Wembley Stadium, how are you? And yeah, on one level it was record breaking, you know, it was record breaking in terms of sales, because it had record low sales. In fact, they only shifted 3 units, and 2 of them were given away, and the other one was nicked apparently from off the car dashboard. And the other way it was record breaking was it were record breakingly shit.
That was former friend and musical associate of Paul Kennedy, Delbert Grady.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. A legendary half-century of adventure, romance and male pattern baldness. And it is to you, Mr. Paul Kennedy, that we raise a glass and toast your 50 glorious years. Happy birthday, sir. This has been Dicky Ticker. Good night. It's a fiver short.